Alright, what's up YouTube? TigerClaw101 here, aka TigerClaw Productions, posting the video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to get the roster uploads or whatever for NBA 2K17 High School Hoops. So I'm going to show you guys the method that I use in order to get the roster for the Garfield Bulldogs and everything, because I got a message from one of my subscribers last weekend asking me how I downloaded the roster. So basically I'm going to show you guys the steps that you can take in order to get the roster. So basically there are about 3 or 4 different rosters that I have for High School Hoops. So we have this is one with my creative player. This is the one that I made. So you got High School Hoops and High School Hoops Garfield, and then you have High School Hoops Garfield, and you also have the other High School Hoops roster. So these two are the ones that are online. These two are the ones that are for me. I didn't make any changes to these rosters right here. I made one update because I had to fix some of the players, because I recently added 2 new Garfield players onto the roster. So make sure you guys check that out. So instead of just having 7 of the Garfield players, I add I think 2 or 3 more onto there, because I checked on Max Preps, I got the roster, I got the likeness and all that stuff. So I tried my best. The likeness isn't really that accurate, but I tried. I mean, you're not going to get another Garfield Bulldogs roster out for a while, because Garfield Bulldogs right now aren't nationally famous or whatever. If you're not in Washington, you probably don't know about the Garfield Bulldogs, except for the fact that Nathan Hill beat them 4 times last year. But we're going to ignore that, okay? I'm not going to go another rant, because I have plenty of rants in my series, believe me. So anyways, these are the 2 rosters. So this is the High School Hoops roster, and this is the High School Hoops with the Garfield Bulldogs. So you have to keep in mind that unfortunately the uniforms do not come with the roster. So in other words, you have to go on your own, and you have to basically download the team jerseys for each individual team. So okay, what am I supposed to do here? I'm trying to edit the roster here. I'm not gonna go on there. I'm gonna go in the local one, because I don't feel like typing everything in. So basically, here's what you got. So we have each individual team or whatever. So I'm gonna think of an example. The Orlando Magic, for example, is IMG Academy. You have Trayvon Duvall, you got Emmett Williams, Keontae Johnson, all those guys. You have the Dallas Mavericks, which is Sierra Canyon. You got I don't know any of these guys, actually. I'm smart. So the Houston Rockets are Spartanburg Day, or the Oklahoma City Thunder is Nathan Hill. So you got Michael Porter, Jonte Porter, PJ Fuller, and Keegan Crosby. I got good news for you guys as well. Guess what? Okay, never mind. Brandon Roy basically went back to Garfield, and PJ Fuller is coming with him. So I'm going to come up with a brand new roster for NBA 2K17 High School Hoops with PJ Fuller on the Garfield Bulldogs, which is going to be a problem, because there's no way he's going to start over Dejon Davis. But yeah, actually, Dejon Davis and Jalen Wells. See, okay, whatever. So, maybe I'll come up with a video for the 2K18 High School Hoops roster, because Dejon Davis and Jalen Noel and Curtis Walker, they're all going to be gone next year. All the star players, Michael Porter, Trayvon Duvall, they're all going to be gone. PJ Fuller's going to be a junior. And, the Garfield Bulldogs are still going to have some of their players, for por ejemplo, the Garfield Bulldogs in this roster are the Philadelphia 76ers. So you got Dejon Davis, Jalen Noel, Curtis Walker, Jermon Kemp, Jerome Brooks, Eddie Turner, and Jelani Howard. Those are all the players that we have so far. I'm going to add 2 or 3 more players onto the roster, because I checked Max Preps, and there are a couple more players that I didn't include, unfortunately. So anyways, I don't know. I don't care. I don't care about the rotations. So anyways, the thing is, for some of these players, I had to actually override some of the players. I had to remove some of the players from the roster in order to get the Garfield Bulldogs, because originally the Philadelphia 76ers were the La Lumiere Lakers, and so in order to accommodate for that, I removed some of the La Lumiere players from the roster or the team, and I put some of the players that I created in. So Tiger Campbell or whatever, he's for La Lumiere. I mean, he's technically on the roster, but he never plays, because he doesn't play for the Garfield Bulldogs, and I only have Bulldogs players, because yeah, that's all I gotta say. So you got 7 of the Garfield Bulldogs players here. The Garfield Bulldogs, I believe, have 13 players, so I'm going to try and include more of them, but some of the players never start or whatever, they don't have pictures on Max Prep, so I couldn't obviously make those players, but I tried my very best. So you got these players right here, right? So I'm not gonna say the roster. I didn't really make any changes to it anyway. So we got those players. So that's the Garfield Bulldogs. So what you have to do, and I'm gonna leave a link to a video in the description of the guy who actually basically led me through the whole process, because there's no way I did this on my own. I did not do this on my own. I'm gonna leave a link to the guy in the description. His name is TrapLordJason. You should definitely check him out. So we're gonna go to league expansion. We're gonna go use custom roster. We're gonna go high school hoops Garfield, because the Garfield Bulldogs. So we're gonna go league expansion, start in regular season. You can ignore this part right here. This isn't needed. Yeah, just advance. Fine then, I'm not gonna do expansion team. I'll just do current NBA teams. After all, it really doesn't matter what the expansion teams are. So like, you can just do current NBA teams, but as long as you have the roster uploaded onto like the team or whatever. As long as you have the roster for the game, you're gonna be all fine. You don't need to make an expansion team. So you have to select all user teams. You have to do all 30 of the NBA teams, because you have to be able to. The process for this is actually going to take a while. So auto generate rookies, I guess. So let's do it. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm not gonna do it for all 30 teams, because that's going to take forever, and TrapLordJason already made a video for that. So here's what you do. You go to team relocation, and the keys, you have to design the branding for each individual team. TrapLordJason, like I said, his video explained this a lot better than mine, because he knows each individual team, and unfortunately I don't. So the 76ers, remember, are the Garfield Bulldogs. I'm just gonna check to make sure I have the roster. Yes, I do. Okay, so the 76ers are the Garfield Bulldogs. So you go over to team branding. Actually, never mind. You got to go to upload/download team designs. You can go to download team designs or whatever. And under my team designs, I already made the Garfield Bulldogs. This is actually made by me. So you got the Garfield Bulldogs here. So the Garfield Bulldogs are officially on the roster, and you have to do that for all 29 of the other teams. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes. It took me about 15 to 20 minutes to do it at least. It might take longer for you, depending on if you know what you're doing. It shouldn't take that long. It's obviously a little tedious for me. When I did it my first time, it took me like closer to 30 minutes, but that was because I didn't really know what the hell I was doing, and I was very new to the process. But I recreated the game like 4 or 5 different times, and I was able to breeze through it in like 10 minutes. So it's all good. So that's pretty much all I gotta do here for the video. Like I said, be sure to download the roster. I'm actually trying to figure how I can upload the uniforms, the Garfield Bulldogs uniforms, on the NBA 2K17. One of my subscribers explained to me saying they'd have to go on the 2K17 website to upload them, but I have no idea where on the 2K website I'm supposed to look for. I'm going to conduct some more research or whatever to find out how I can upload the team designs or whatever. But until then, I'm going to keep you guys posted. Until then, you're going to have to deal with it and play with the 76ers until I can figure out how to upload Garfield's uniforms onto NBA 2K17. So until then, you can either play with the high school hoops roster that I've also made for you guys. This high school hoops roster has the Lollimere Lakers instead of the Garfield Bulldogs, so you can download this roster instead, or you can play with the Garfield roster, but instead of having the Garfield Bulldogs with their uniforms, they're going to play with the 76ers. But, you know, whatever. It's all good. But anyways, I have some more news or whatever. So, like I said, Brandon Roy's coming back to Garfield next year, right? So we're going to get our head coach back. Well, not our coach. He's coming back to Garfield is what I'm saying, you know, because he played for Garfield. He played for Garfield in like 2000, 2001, 2002, you know, back in the day, I guess you could say. And so he was like on the staff or whatever for the Garfield Bulldogs, but they left to go to Nathan Hale. And then he comes back after Ed Haskins leaves to become an assistant coach at Washington State. So now that Brandon Roy is coming back, I think that what's going to happen is Garfield's going to get all the recruits from across the state, and they're going to all go to play for Garfield Bulldogs. Obviously, we're not going to get another Michael Porter, okay? There's only one Michael Porter, but there's probably no other Michael Porter. Like, there's never been a more dominant player in state history than what Michael Porter was. So, obviously, we're not going to get another Michael Porter, but still, some of the best players in the state are going to be transferring over to Garfield so they can play under Brandon Roy, because that's exactly what happened to Nathan Hale. Just think about it, though. Nathan Hale was 3-18 the year before Brandon Roy shows up. Brandon Roy shows up and they go 29-0. Okay, they were the worst team in the Metro League before Brandon Roy shows up. And then he comes and they become the best team in the country. The best team in the country. The worst team in the Metro League turns into the best team in the country in 1 year. Imagine what will happen with the second best team in the state getting that coach back, or getting that coach. Like, it's going to be insane. And now that now that Porter's gone, we're the #1 team in the state, okay? Yeah, they might have, like, Jonte Porter. Jonte Porter, I think, might be going to Nathan Hale. I'm not sure about Jonte yet. He might go to Garfield. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out later. But anyways, that's all I got to say. So, thank you so much for watching, YouTube. I will see you in the next video. Peace.